Hi. My name is John, and I am a columnist in academy.com. Are you struggling with anxiety, depression, or PTSD? Today, we will talk about mindfulness meditation and how it helps us to counter anxiety and depression in daily life. Well, at least to scientists, what's surprising is that the benefits from meditation show up right from the beginning. You can do, for example, mindfulness, that a very popular meditation. You do mindfulness practice 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes 3 times over the course of a day. Something remarkable happens to your attention, and it has to do with the fact that we're all multitasking these days. People on average look at their email about 50 times a day. They look at their Facebook 20-something times a day, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's Instagram, there are your phone calls, whatever it is, you have to do, and what this means for our attention is that we were challenged. Focused attention is an endangered species. However, we need that focus to get work done well, so it's a real problem, and meditation, it turns out, even at the beginning, has some of the answers. It goes like this: when you're really intensely focused on that one thing you have to do, or you want to do the paper you're writing, or the project you're working on, then you think, oh, I better check my email, and then that leads to your Facebook, which leads to the phone call. It leads to what we call this multitasking. The brain actually does not do multitasking. It doesn't do several things at once in parallel. Rather, it works in serial, and it switches very rapidly from one thing to the next. Then, when you go back to that project or whatever it was you were so focused on, your concentration had been at a very high level before you started doing the other things. Now it's much lower, and it takes a while to ramp up to that same level and less. This is so interesting unless you've done that, 10 minutes of mindfulness focused on your breath. For example, I just watched it in and out. Noticed when your mind wandered, brought it back. That's the basic move in meditation, and if you do that, it turns out just 10 minutes of practice nullifies that loss of concentration. And this works, for example, for people who might do mindfulness in the morning. It will wane during the course of the day. But if you do 10 more minutes at lunch, 10 more minutes at the break in the mid-afternoon, it helps you stay concentrated through the day, so that is a very palpable concrete payoff from daily meditation that works for beginners. There are many others, too. For example, we're all stressed out these days, and beginners in mindfulness or other meditations in terms of handling stress. It turns out right from the get-go, they have a better reaction to stress. We see this in brain function. The area of the brain which reacts to stress is called the amygdala, the trigger point for the fight or flight or freeze response. What makes us angry all of a sudden, or anxious all of a sudden? The amygdala is quieter. It's calmer in the face of stress, and this lets us be calmer in the face of stress. And this is another benefit that we see right from the beginning, because meditation has been found to work so well with anxiety and depression and possibly PTSD, where that's being looked into. One of the areas that seem promising is meditation with attention deficit disorder. In a way, this is a no-brainer because at the base, in essence, every kind of meditation retrains attention, and what attention deficit disorder is a problem with attention. So there's now a whole host of studies underway, mainly with kids, because where it tends to show up first, where they're helping them strengthen the muscle of attention. Daniel Goleman is an author and science journalist. Reported when he was in a classroom of 7-year-olds in Spanish Harlem. This was a very impoverished area of New York City, and those kids live in housing projects. They have very troubled lives, and some of them had ADD. In fact, half the kids in that classroom had what are called special needs, ranging from AD to autism. He thought the classroom would be totally chaotic, but actually, the kids were calm and focused, and the teacher said, "Here's why," and then they did their daily ritual of what they called belly buddies. Each child, one by one, went to their cubby, got a favorite little stuffed animals, found a place to lie down on a rug, put that animal on their belly, and then they listened to a tape that guided them through watching their belly rise on the in-breath and fall on the out-breath. 1, 2, 3, on the in-breath. 1, 2, 3, on the out-breath. This is basically the beginning of mindfulness, or meditation for kids. Cognitive science would say this is attention training. You can do it with very young kids, which helps them get stronger in concentrating attention. Deficit disorder is basically not controlling your mind, wandering off from what you're paying attention to every time. You watch your belly rise, and then your mind wanders off, and you bring it back to your belly. You're strengthening the neural circuitry for focus and countering mind wandering, so this seems very promising, and early studies of early pilots show that this may well counter the problems kids faces in AD, and I'm pleased to say that major studies are underway. They are waiting for those results, but they think they're promising. Early studies show that simple meditation may well counter the problems for everyone. Bottom line, if you want to manage focus and have a clear mind, whether in work or studies, doing a simple exercise of mindfulness meditation can help. I hope you liked the video. So, please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon. Thank you and goodbye.